Is Jay Cutler on Tinder? More Uncommon James shipping chaos on Cyber Monday, and could Uncommon James be coming to LA? Tune in to find out, AfterBuzzers.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, welcome to our show. We encourage you today to tune in to our live chat. We'll be checking in with you and including you guys. I am your host, Brittney, and to my left.
Hi guys, I'm Caroline, and I'm reading the live chat comments right now. They're with myself, so make sure you get in that chat.
I'm Justine, and yes, definitely make sure to get in the chat because we like talking, conversing with you guys, and it just makes the show more interesting.
Right, I'm Angel, and we'll be talking with you all along on the chat, and I see you so happy over there about it.
Okay, literally, I said that, and now there's only one person in the chat, so
Get back in there. We studied very long and hard, and we know all of our names, and we know all of the cast members.
You scared them off.
We did a whole little chart with the names and the faces, and we're ready to go, you guys. So what do we think of tonight's episode?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was the most relatable episode because, one, Kristin got so real about the death of her brother, and two, the dating apps. Everyone can relate to a dating app story. I don't care if it's about you, your best friend, your neighbor. Somebody has told you a dating app story.
Totally.
Yeah.
Let's save that topic because we
Right.
there's a
I
lot
know, we
to
have
say.
a lot to say.
We
I
might
need
be
my
here
own
for a
show
while.
about that. That's how bad mine are. So
Yeah.
What did you think, Justine?
it was good. I think kind of like what you said, Caroline. It was relatable, and Jay is always looking hot. So
Of course
yeah,
he
I liked
is.
it.
There needs to be a spin-off with Jay. I don't care. I just
Just
want to follow
Jay.
him around. But his
Just
life is a
Jay.
little boring. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
he
is
just
a
likes to
little bit.
like hunt and just like, I don't know, he's very like nonchalant when he talks, but he's like in a funny way. But I liked the episode. I felt like it had the sad stuff about her brother passing. It had the tense things going on with Uncommon James. It gave us a little bit of everything. The funny stuff with the dating apps. So yeah.
I agree. I think it was very important for Kristin Cavallari to open up about mental health. And I guess I never really realized when her brother passed that it was so heavy mentally health related. I felt like it kind of wasn't talked about as much. So
Yeah.
I think that's very important. And on a lighter note, let's get into the dating world. Are you guys on dating apps?
No.
Wait, every now and then I get on Tinder.
I have a
'cause
reason why.
I'll be bored and I'm like, I don't feel like going out to meet guys. I can just like sit here and like swipe. But then they're all so weird. I'll just, you know that picture of Rihanna that she has on Instagram and it's like the stick figure with the things in her hair?
Have you? I know that.
Never seen
No,
her?
I maybe. I don't
Yeah.
What is that? Is that her dating
It's a
profile?
it's a random stick figure that she uses as her Instagram pic. And so anytime I'm like, I'm done with dating.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm like, I'm done with this like online dating stuff, I just set that to my thing as my profile picture, and I just delete the app from my phone. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
So I'm signed up on every app, but this is the problem.
Every app. So you're on like the farmer to farmer one where you meet farmers?
not all of
Because
them.
Jay Cutler might be on there. There's one where you could just meet farmers.
Would
Jay
you like
Cutler
that?
is taken.
Yeah, he's taken. But no, it's like there's like there was Tinder, OkCupid, Hinge, Bumble and Bumble,
That's
or
a
Bumble
lot.
and Bumble. That's a hair product.
Isn't there like coffee meets bagel?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm not on all of them. But
I'm not on it. Relax. Angel's like, I
How do
don't
you
want
know?
the dirt on
How do you know?
Because I think that is the strangest name.
It
Coffee
is
meets
really
bagel.
weird.
And
But I'm
Yes.
on like a few of them. But I never go on them. So I'll sign up, I'll be on it for a day, and then I just
Yeah.
get so bored and so over it. So now none of them are on my phone, but I was on, have you ever heard of Plenty of Fish?
Yes.
So I signed up for that
On commercials.
7 years ago, right? When I was still living in New Jersey. And I don't know my password, and I still will randomly get emails. So-and-so wants to meet you. I was like, I haven't signed on in 7 years. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. Well, I want to talk first about Jay Cutler's friend Chewy, who is on the gay dating apps.
Well, he isn't on a dating app. That's the whole point.
Oh, well,
He's
he said
scared of serial killers.
He was scared of serial killers,
Yeah.
which
honestly, that's no
valid.
matter your sexual orientation, that is a fear we all have, that we're going to be murdered by somebody.
It is, but I have the craziest story that is so relatable to this. I have a friend who was in town from Chicago this past weekend, and he saw on one of the apps out here a picture of a guy he's talking to back in Chicago, and it's someone here using his photo, pretending to be him.
Catfish. This is how that show still is going on.
So it's no wonder Chewy's afraid to even get on there, and then it makes it so hard to meet people sometimes.
I just don't get what's the point when it's like you're obviously, if you meet up with this person, you're not gonna look like your picture. I just never understood the purpose of it.
Maybe some people are scammers, but if you watch that other show, then maybe you'll see that people do it because they're lonely. Some people have done it because they're like sick and they can't get out and they just want to talk to someone. Right? You shouldn't, and I feel like eventually it's gonna get found out, but
I don't feel bad for these people. I mean, this is that's a whole other topic. I don't feel bad if you're going to scam someone.
I know. I feel bad for the person who thinks it's them. And
yes. I mean, the actual person, you're lonely. I don't care.
Well, what do you guys think about somebody like Jay saying, I'll manage your account to...
That's also awkward because he can't talk like that person. And like when these guys start flirting with Kelly, is he gonna flirt back in her voice? Like, how does that even work?
I think if they're like simultaneously on it together, maybe it's okay, but I don't want it to, like, I do have friends that are like, let me play matchmaker, I know like what you would be interested in or whatever, let me go on your dating app, like,
or just like sitting there next to each other and you're, what should I say? I think that's really natural and something any girl or guy can relate to. Yo, what do I say to this guy? I have no idea how to respond. I don't know how to react. Like, is this a good response?
I would like it. I mean, I do think it's weird because they are not going to obviously talk like you, but you don't got to do any work. Like, here, we have a date this day, go, and this is what he looks like. I don't know, it's like a little matchmaker thing. I'd be about it because I don't feel like doing the work. I don't like dating.
Dating is annoying.
People are joining the chat, so I want to ask you guys, would you go on, or are you on dating apps, and are you kind of afraid to meet up with somebody because of the potential of them being a serial killer, you know?
So is everyone here in a relationship or single?
Single.
Oh, everybody, we should go out. No, everybody I meet are in these long-term relationships, in love, getting married, having kids, mostly back home from where I'm from. So I'm just like, I am so single. I don't go out. I know I don't put myself out there because I just don't feel like it. Because dating is weird, especially in LA.
Well, I think that's part of why Kelly isn't dating right now, because she, first of all of her friends have kids. I mean, Kristen's her
who's
best
she
friend.
gonna go out with?
Who's she gonna go out with? Jay is the only one who's free. And then also
that's hilarious.
And then also Kelly is really committed to her career. And I think that we're all really committed to our careers as well. And so it's hard to find that balance.
I agree. And I don't think she really wants it right now. I think Jay wants it more than she wants it. She has to really want it for it to happen, and she's not committed to that. She's, like you said, committed to her career right now, and that's her main focus.
I think she wants it. She just hasn't met any guys. She said on the show that in the last 6 months she hasn't even met anyone that she wants to have a drink with. And it's like, I can relate because some of these guys are just idiots.
So.
Do you guys ship her and Jay being BFFs and dating together? Like, how do you feel about that little friendship? Not literally them dating, but...
Well, no, because when I first... I don't know, there was a weird vibe at the beginning because she looked really like she was going on a date when she met up with Jay. I don't know.
She did. I bet she was meeting with someone after Jay.
Yeah, maybe Jay was like a spy in the corner and watching. That's what I'd like. But she was like, oh, I'm looking for somebody I can have banter with. And then
that was funny.
She was
that
like,
was so specific.
oh, like our banter. I was like, yo, that is your girl's best. That's your best friend's husband. You better backtrack.
Honestly, I was thinking about that whole situation. Even when Kristin was there and they were sitting in the living room, it's like a fine line between like what's okay and what's not. He's like, we're gonna go out and you can't come, and now they're at a bar. We know when you mix alcohol, things happen.
Okay, I don't think that would ever happen. Jay is obsessed with Kristin.
Yeah, hopefully.
And you can just tell. You can just tell. Even Kristin going on and saying we're in a rut, we're in a weird place. Yeah. You can just tell Jay is so used to being showered with affection, and just not even affection, attention. And the fact that he doesn't have it probably makes him want and love Kristin more.
Totally. I completely agree. So what's our consensus with the dating apps? Do we think it's okay that what Jay's doing?
Yeah, of course.
He's just helping her out. He's not pretending to be someone else.
Exactly.
Really.
There's a big difference between that. If you're pretending to be someone else and he's on there just trying to help a girl out.
And each situation's different. So some people may like that, some people may not. So whatever.
Totally. Okay, so we're not cool with catfishing, but we're okay with you guys taking over your friends' accounts And you never know, you might see one of us on these dating apps. But in the meantime,
If you see the Rihanna pictures.
You'll see me, like you may come across it, but I'm not active. So.
Exactly. That's
I don't
how
have them on
am.
my phone, so.
Yeah.
all right, well, in the
delete it.
meantime, we have a message for all of our followers here at AfterBuzz.
All right, guys, so before we move on to our next topic, we just want to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And for us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. And no matter where you are, leave us a comment and get involved in our conversation. We love to talk to you guys. And being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us. We truly appreciate you supporting us in what we love. And don't forget to tell your friends, your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your single friends, no matter who you are, and just keep enjoying our shows.
Yes, exactly. And if you're not on the live chat now, get on the live chat. Caroline's here checking it out.
Literally checking it.
Ask us whatever you want. Tell us what you want to hear about.
Just say
and
hi. Like, we
say
don't even
hi.
care.
I know, right?
We'll be like, hey.
Yes. All right. So we saw some Cyber Monday chaos at Uncommon James.
Man.
Do we think they're ever going to get it together?
It doesn't seem like it. Like, what is going on? They still had empty boxes.
Like, we had Reagan, whose job this time around was to make sure that the boxes weren't empty.
Just
then
look in it.
And then she found one box with 2 orders in it, and then empty boxes.
Right? How is this still happening?
Hearing it again. I was just like, this is just getting annoying and ridiculous.
I think the problem is the lack of communication from the top all the way down to the bottom. What bothered me the most was that Brittney didn't relay to Matt that Kaylee was going to come in and kind of oversee things just as another set of eyes. At the same time, why on earth does Matt act like he doesn't know that there's a missing package or a wrong order placement? Because he specifically enlisted in Reagan to like double, triple, quadruple check, because clearly he doesn't trust his employees and the people who is working beneath him. So why not have somebody else who is going to oversee? Clearly you're friends with everyone who works beneath you, so you're not being enough of a hardo about it. And that's why Kaylee needs to come in and really be like, if you're not doing your job, I'm going to let you go.
Well,
Yeah.
Reagan seems like just like a blank stare at all times. Like, who knows what's going on in her head. But Kristin also said she doesn't really trust Matt as far as, like, you know, with his job. That's why she was happy that Kaylee was coming in. So it's like Kristin still has all these people working for her that it's just like, what are they doing?
Right, but they knew that this was going to be one of the busiest
It's like the
weekends.
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl for them. And Brittney was going away. Kristin was going away. Why wasn't this person given the role from the get-go? Why did something have to go wrong for Kaylee to get the call to be in charge of everybody?
That should have been a
It should have
drill.
been established from the get-go, though, that Kaylee, you're in charge all weekend from the top down.
Yeah.
Everyone below you. But I also agree with you. I don't think it was handled properly in terms of Kaylee just going at everybody without Matt knowing.
Well, the problem, I don't think that's Kaylee's fault, because Brittney specifically says, okay, I want you to relay this to everyone that I'm giving you control.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? You're going to tell the person that people already think is acting far too superior to say that she now has a role of being superior?
And I feel like that had to be for the cameras, because Brittney should have told them herself that Kaylee was going to be doing that, even if she said, hey, put me on speakerphone, so that
Yeah.
they know it's coming from me. So for, like you said, Kaylee is the one that is least liked among everyone. So why do you have her having this private conversation and now she's like, okay, guys, I'm the boss?
They know it's going to create more drama. There's no
Yeah.
way that it won't, because then it's like, who does she think she is? It's just they know what they're doing. I just think the whole thing is, it's just, honestly, it's getting old. Like,
It is getting
okay,
old.
they're not shipping things. Like, something needs to change, because it's getting old. And I don't know why people are not getting fired.
I know. Why is this episode called You Can't Ship With Us? You haven't been able to ship
No one-
since the first episode.
Yeah, that should be the name of the TV show, not Very Cavallari.
Literally. I don't understand why no one has been fired yet in that department. Do you think something's going to change?
I think so, because, and we'll talk about this probably more with our predictions for next week, but it did look like Kristin had reached
Once she got
her
back.
limit, and that she was very confident she would be letting more people go.
Definitely.
But again, we talked about this last week, there's so many loose ends that wouldn't you rather have less actually competent employees than more incompetent employees who not that they're like intellectually incompetent, but maybe they're not actually qualified for the job that they're doing. Therefore, more mistakes will happen.
Their job isn't even that hard. Like when Jay went there and he's like, "What do you do?" And
Okay, I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm really glad someone else did.
It's
Well,
like,
Kaylee said it too.
when Jay went there, he's like, "So what's your job?" I forgot who it was. He asked, and then he's like, "Oh, so you just print the labels? You hit print? Like, why can't y'all get it together? You press print."
And I don't get it because they've had talks about it. So why is it still happening?
Yeah,
I just don't understand.
I
Like, it's pissing me off.
I literally sold something on Poshmark today, and I took it. I put it in the box. I wrote a little thank you. I put the label on, and I shipped it.
Right.
I don't understand.
Not rocket science.
Coming soon, packing lessons with Brittney.
Yeah, next week we're gonna have a whole station here with the boxes
We
and
need
everything
to.
on here. I mean, also my question is, how did they assign Reagan to double check the boxes and they were still empty boxes?
Because she's
So
like
what,
a blank
she
stare.
picked up the box and was like, "Oh, it's empty.
Send it out.
Send it out."
She's probably like on her phone. Like, I don't know.
No, I think she alerted Matt, but I don't think Matt was owning up to the fact he knew there was a problem.
Yeah.
Brittney was like, "How do you not know that there's an issue and that there are empty boxes yet? I know." And he's like, "Oh, I just stepped out to go to the bathroom."
And that many, all the boxes became
Right.
empty. Like,
Please.
I don't know.
I
They're
also
just-
don't think I don't think the solution to the problem is bringing more people in. I think that's making it worse.
Right.
The solution needs to be getting the right people that know how to do that job and do it well. And they have messed up way too many times.
too many
I
of
do
her
understand.
friends.
I do understand though why Reagan would come in because she's an outside eye. So she's not packaging, and sometimes if you're looking at the same exact thing over and over again, maybe your eye is going to become less attentive and you're going to mix something. So bring somebody in from a different department, somebody who works retail because they're obviously they know the product.
Yeah.
They also they have very keen attention to detail. So maybe that's why they brought Reagan in, but if they're still having this many problems, especially on the weekend that they were supposedly, Matt says, preparing for many months for, there should not be any error.
Yeah, definitely not. Even if they needed to bring in someone who specializes in shipping or something, workers to help out for Cyber Monday. Like, hopefully no empty boxes went out on Cyber Monday because I wouldn't be ordering again.
I don't think they're taking it seriously enough. Like, even before Kristin left to go to LA for the pop-up shop, Jay was like, he made some type of joke about hopefully your shipments go out, and she's like laughing about it. And even when like her and Brittney were having dinner, I forgot the joke too, I should have written it down, but they also made another joke about the shipping. It's like, girl, you got empty
Right.
boxes going out.
Well, I mean, Kristin was like making jokes back too about Jay saying, well, his solution is always to fire someone. Well, maybe he's right.
Well, he said you need to cut off the head of the snake, the ringleader. And I don't think that the ringleader in this case, they were saying
it was Colby.
Colby. They were saying that because she was stirring the pot. I think that, and I'm honestly, maybe people disagree with me, but I don't think that Brittney is being a good supervisor. She's a supervisor to everyone, so I understand that that's really hard to regulate and oversee many people, but it seems like she likes the fact that she has a superior role, so she therefore withholds information, and then that actually ends up trickling down beneath her, and that's where the problems are caused.
You have those egos, and yeah.
I mean, she broke down and cried in the room she stepped out with Kristin. I don't think the person overseeing anything should be that big of an emotional wreck.
And I think that she's, like what you said, I think that she's kind of using it, and then when she gets to Kristin, it's like this whole sob story. She just needs to step up and take responsibility and stop me. Like, she's just being dramatic, I think.
Yeah,
about
it does
certain
seem
things.
very
I couldn't
dramatic.
understand why she was crying. I get, okay, I'm frustrated at work, but I don't know. At least she left not like Colby, who like did it in front of everyone, kind of.
Yeah, what do you guys think about at the beginning of the episode when Kristin kind of went off on the employees, like, and didn't have a private meeting about everything that happened at the cocktail party?
I thought that was very odd just because obviously she went into it knowing she wanted to speak to Colby, and then it almost became a conversation with just PR, and it was before Kaylee got there. Everything just seemed, again, very unorganized. I felt as though she did need to address the whole squad of Uncommon James, because she was saying, new employees are being influenced by old employees' impressions of Kaylee. But I think that she just should have had a conversation with PR, with Brittney, with Colby, with anyone who actually made a claim saying they had a problem directly.
I think maybe she just didn't want to have all those different conversations. And
Well, that's a business.
Yeah.
So you need to do that.
Yeah, but as we said, like with the unorganized stuff, I think she's like, hey, everyone's in this room. You all are being annoying. I'm
Yeah.
talking to you now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, it's unfortunate for Kaylee because, there are going to be new employees who are going to have this whole pre-deposition because people said bad things. And I feel like I can relate. I feel like I've walked into jobs before and maybe someone said something about me and all of a sudden I'm like,
The bad guy.
instantly judged. And I'm like, I'm really good at my job. So why don't you work with me for a week and then
form your
opinion.
own opinion. Yeah.
Exactly.
I completely agree, and I think it's unfortunate. Again, we'll talk about this in predictions, but there was a slight hint of Kristin talking about female empowerment and saying we should be building each other up, not pushing each other down. And I feel as though it is a very catty environment. She said, this is like high school. And I could not agree more. Everyone is bickering. Everyone has something to say. And I think Kristin and Brittney's point, there's a difference between talking shit about somebody and then saying it straight to their face. And it's just a bunch of schoolgirls talking poorly about other girls behind their back.
Yeah.
And that's not productive. Honestly, a lot of people avoid confrontation, but I think if there's a problem, you should just address it.
Especially if it's work. It's not like hanging out.
Agreed.
Yeah.
There's a difference between work and hanging out. It's just so simple, and it's just like these girls are not taking their job seriously.
Maybe it's because too many of them are Kristin's friends, and like how Matt was saying, he's taking it personal. Like maybe she just needs actual employees and not, oh, this person used to ship from my house with me.
And not saying obviously it's not just about gender, but like I said, it's mostly females, and let's just get real. Females are very emotional, so why not? Switch it up a little bit. Why not switch it up a little bit and have a lot of different employees? I know that there's how many guys? It's probably not that many.
I think there's a few. I think they're sprinkled throughout the show, to be honest. But Matt is the one that gets camera time.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I'm like, or maybe they're keeping the girls because that show dynamic.
I just could not work in that work environment. They're literally on foldable tables facing each other just all day. I can't even stand being in a cubicle and someone seeing me out of the corner of their eye, let alone right in front of me all day.
Wait, did you notice when Kaylee got there on the her first scene, she was like, nice. I'm like, no, this isn't.
No, this is not nice. They're throw them in a room.
Fold-up table.
Oh gosh. Well, I wonder if Uncommon James is going to head to LA for good. I mean, we see that there is a pop-up shop, and from my understanding, it is still going on. So 6 months, that's a long time for a pop-up shop.
That is. I've never seen one go that long.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, what is usually God, I hate comparing it, but Kylie's pop-up shop was what?
Days?
Not months. That's half a permanent store for a year.
I think the difference, though, is that those stores are gigantic spaces they rent out, whereas what she's doing at the Grove is straight up, it's probably 2/3 of this table right now.
Oh yeah, it was so small.
Super small, and it's compact, and you can roll it, and you can move it. I think it's a perfect opportunity. When you're when you're on a street fair or any kind of stuff like that, and you just see those little stands of jewelry. I think that's what it is. It's obviously a little bit nicer. But she's right. The Grove has a huge demographic.
It does.
Of people coming in from all over the place, and then they recognize the brand, and then they can buy it online. So I think it was the perfect place for her to launch.
It is, for brand awareness especially, because like you said, so many people, I actually steer clear of the Grove because I know everyone that comes to LA is visiting the Grove, and so it just gets so crazy. So that's probably,
the Grove.
I do love it, but
It's a scene, though.
It's a scene, yeah. During the day at 11 o'clock, I could handle it, but not on the weekends.
I thought it was cool that she was there, though, and she opened it. However, and maybe this is just me not, again, getting it, but why did Brittney need to be there? I know that, I guess she, I guess, maybe hired the girls that work or freelance out of LA, But I don't understand why she needed to be there if it's the biggest week of the year, Cyber Monday.
Especially for a week. They were in LA for a week. I mean, I understand because Brittney was, head of operations.
Yeah.
So, maybe since they don't know these girls, since she hired them, from here, she's never met them. Maybe that's why you need, because Kristin had to leave for a photo shoot. She had things to do. So maybe you need someone that you can trust to get things set up. But for the whole week, I don't know.
Well, did you notice that Kristin's assistant was back in Nashville? And that's who Brittney was talking to.
That was, you literally are taking the words right out of my brain. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why is Kristin's assistant left behind to handle things at Uncommon James, but yet...
And also, who is Kristin's assistant? That was really kind of
maybe
glossed over.
She was helping with the kids too. Is she just a personal assistant that
it could be?
Yeah.
They haven't.
No, because she was clearly at the store.
She was at the store, and they haven't formally introduced an assistant of Kristin's in the first season or now. So they kind of just glossed over it. Maybe she's just not on. They don't ever show her on the show.
They said her name and her voice. To be honest with you, she's such a minute character. However, it's not a minute job, and that's why I'm wondering, why isn't she maybe with Kristin?
None of this makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. Her assistant should have definitely been by her side in LA, helping out, getting the shop ready. Brittney did not need to be there.
Yeah.
I really don't understand.
I just think she would have been a better asset
for Cyber Monday.
Yeah. Especially if they're talking it up like this is the biggest day of our year for our company. Then why are you not having somebody who's also
she wanted to go
very
to LA.
familiar with the
That too.
She wanted to go to LA and hang out with Kristin.
That's too.
Probably
but
it.
if she really needed Brittney there, like I was saying, maybe because she doesn't know the girls who got hired, why not have her go a few days before to meet
That's a
up
great
with
idea.
them, and then
Yes.
she'd be back for Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
I think it was all intentional to create the most drama possible.
Yeah, well, that's a TV show for you.
Yeah, but I just wonder, how is her business actually doing, in real life?
Seriously, I wonder the exact same thing, because if you're doing all this for the show and the drama, how I would love to just walk in there and see what it's actually like in there.
I wouldn't want to buy anything from you just from watching the show. I don't know.
I will say that I love to go to Home Goods, and I've never seen a Kristin Cavallari Uncommon James home product. However, I do know that I know her jewelry does well. I think it really does well, and it's unique. I like the little pieces that she has.
Yeah, it
I
seems
don't
cute.
own anything, but I think that her store looks professional. I've seen things on Instagram, people going in, and it looks like it's a nice space. I just think that before you branch off, you need to make sure that your foundation is really sturdy.
Agreed. Otherwise, it's gonna all fall through. I mean, it happened with Dash and the Kardashians. You need to be able to
Retweet.
you need to be able to have a very strong foundation. I completely agree.
Yeah, I think that she would do well in LA, especially, she has a huge base in California. She, had the shows out here, but at the same time, like you guys said, she needs to get it together in Nashville first. But if she can get the right staff, I think she'll do well out here. Maybe even better than Nashville.
Yeah, I think she'll do really, really good out here.
I think so too. Well, let's switch gears and let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so there's so much news this week, many different areas. The first piece of news I wanted to share with you guys is an Instagram from Kaylee herself, where she is addressing the haters. She posted this picture today, and I think it's definitely directed towards anyone who is sending her hate because of maybe the character she's being played off as on the show. So she wrote, "I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one's given a peace sign to negative energy. Do you have a special friend that keeps you positive?" And so I interpreted that as probably her saying, look, you can throw all that shade my way. I see your comments, but I'm just going to take the positive road.
I just don't get how anybody would give her hate, because all of us are in agreement of what's going on. So how does anybody not understand?
But I think it's really easy if you're not super fans of a show, or if you're just not, a lot of people just watch TV to watch TV. But here we are talking about it, and I think it's easier to understand the other side, the other perspective when we're talking about it, whereas when you're just seeing something flat on TV and being told the narrative, it's really easy to believe it.
Yeah, but even on TV, and I don't want to call people names, so I guess I'm not. But like the rest of her staff just seem clueless.
Well, I mean, Kristin said she's one of her best employees. She
Yeah.
said,
So how, like you said, how are people even upset with her?
I mean, people need to just get over it because Kristin has made it clear moving forward that she needs her best employees around, and she doesn't give a shit if people are friends or not.
And little quick insert. I know we got in trouble for not saying names, but right now I'm blanking out. When she had a conversation with her, and she was like, "Well, you did say
Colby.
Yeah, Colby. She was like, you did say, you know, that she was like your best employee, and Kristin's like, stop.
I know.
Like, who cares?
What
like,
about
stop with the
me?
drama.
Are we
Like-
12 years old? Get over
Basically.
it.
Well, speaking of this, is how any type of group of people relate anything back to their own personal life is by throwing in a Taylor Swift lyric. And Matt wanted to throw some shade at Kaylee, so he was like, I feel like she's burning all the witches even if you aren't one, is what he said about Kaylee coming after everyone, which is a reference to I Did Something Bad, my personal favorite song off the Reputation album
Never
of Taylor
heard it.
Swift. It's a bop. You should listen.
It's a bop.
So this is a picture of it.
That was
yeah.
a very good catch
Thank
on your
you
end.
so much.
You
I-
are a true fan.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty iconic line if you listen to Taylor Swift.
I listen to Taylor Swift, but I've also never heard the song. But I will listen to it today.
I highly recommend doing it.
If it was a Britney Spears lyric, I would have caught it.
Okay. Me too. Well, now you guys know. I'd be interested to know, though, in the comments, whether you're in the live chat now or later, if you caught that. And then this last picture is actually from Kristin's
They're hiring.
Instagram. Guys,
Which
Dang.
I need to read
They're
you guys
hiring.
the caption. She posted this initially on her Instagram story, and then she
I love
posted it
it.
again to her actual Instagram, and the caption says, "Save your snide comments, we really do need a ton of people in the shipping department ASAP. Apply if interested." I was too afraid to get into the comments because I would not have made it to the show tonight.
Yeah,
I would have
right.
been all night in those
It's
comments.
just still scrolling.
So I stayed clear.
She
So
should
guys,
She should have blocked
jobs
the
at
comments.
uncommonjames.com if you want to work in the Nashville store and help with this whole shipping debacle.
She's gonna have so many applications.
She should have turned off the. Well, actually, who really cares? But she should have turned off the comments. If it's just gonna be a whole mess.
I'm
gonna
scared.
read them later.
Now I'm definitely gonna look later.
While I'm listening to Taylor Swift, I'm gonna be reading the comments.
I'll be listening to Britney Spears. So let's get into our boss of the week. I'm
Okay.
really excited, you guys. All right, who wants to start?
They seem like such a mess. I don't know. I
don't
don't
have a boss of
even
the week?
know.
I
Like,
struggled. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled this week.
Yeah.
I'll start because I know. I think Kristin was a
That's
great
what
boss of the week.
I was gonna
I
say
think
that
Kristin
too.
just showed she's a boss. She's like, look, at the end of the day, this is my company. I'm doing what's best for my company. Thank you, goodbye. I'm going to LA.
Yeah.
I think she was just very straightforward. You know, there are things that Kristin does that I think it's part of a learning curve. Uncommon James is only 3 years old, so you know, you were saying earlier, I wonder what the worth of the company is or how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it takes a little time to turn a profit, but I think Kristin was a great boss. From
Yeah,
this
I
week.
would say I would say her too. Like you said, because of everything that she's stepping up to the plate, and you know she's had multiple talks. Like, I don't care. This is what I'm gonna do. And everybody else was such a disaster that I think it made her look more like a boss.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I agree that she did step up and like put her foot down, but she also just made too many jokes about shipping, and it's like, this is your business, but whatever. I guess you have to like have
But
some
compared-
fun in your life.
compared to what everybody on this episode,
Yeah, I guess if you have to pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kaylee, and that was my first gut instinct. And then after you brought up the Instagram post, I just think she rose above, and she could have easily, the way she was treated at the cocktail party, just decided, you know what? She could have felt so defeated that she just decided not to come to Uncommon James. And she
Yeah.
stepped up and she got in everyone's face and said, listen, this is straight from Kristin. You're going home if you're not doing your job. And she knows that people don't like her in the room. So I think that was bossy.
I think she does a really good job of separating like work and personal, because everyone else is running crying off in
Yeah.
bathrooms,
Yes.
and she has like never let anyone see her cry. And she did like to have a room full of people who don't like you, and you're like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. I
it's
think it takes,
intimidating.
Kristin needs to get more employees like her. And I think Kristen's starting to realize that it's not about being liked. It's about your business is going to crumble if you keep hiring people that get along with everybody. You need to hire people that can separate their work life from the drama and get the job done at the end of the day.
I mean, I'm using. You said that Kaylee's Instagram kind of propelled you to say that she was the boss of the week. There's no specific wordage that says she's talking about Uncommon James, but I can only imagine after an episode airs.
And you
just
post
like
that.
And then you post that, just like Shannon did after the premiere and leading up to the premiere and after the premiere. She had a lot of shade to throw, indirectly, I guess, and directly towards the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think this week, winners are the two girls that we just
I still can't believe Shannon actually got fired and like we haven't seen her back.
She's not coming back, ladies and gentlemen. The old Shannon is dead. Another Taylor Swift reference for all you guys.
All right, well, let's get into what we think is going to go down next week and get into some predictions here.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I think that I want to say that someone's going to get fired, but sadly, I don't think that's going to happen. I still think that the drama is going to keep continuing on, and there's just going to become more problems, especially with did I say that right? Especially with shipping. And I'm hoping to see more of Jay and him being a little matchmaker. I want to see more of that.
I think a few people need to be fired, but I think
just 54 people. That's
right. But unless it's like someone behind the scenes who is messing up, I don't think we're gonna see it. Just because, like, it's the TV cast. Just like when Shannon got let go, and I'm still like, well, where is she? She was on the show last time. It's like you're gonna fire your main characters because they are store employees. You know, it's like then what will happen to the show? You need more characters on
more
the show.
drama. Gosh, I can't even imagine the show following employees around in LA. That would be just crazy.
Yeah, so
more drama.
They act like they're in LA.
They do, so that's why I can't imagine
always
actually being in LA.
forget.
Yeah.
I do too. Well, we see in the preview that Kaylee and Colby are gonna finally sit down and chat and address the whole issue. What do we?
Can we just talk about the fact that they're like, Colby's like, I don't know, is she gonna throw a drink in my face?
I know. I'm like,
has she ever?
I'm surprised you didn't throw a drink in her face at the cocktail party.
Yes, that would be fantastic television, and it's happened on The Hills before, but this is not The Hills.
Or the Real Housewives.
Yeah, and it's just like, look, you guys can be adults, and you don't have to bicker with one another. Obviously, you have your differences, but this is not like a showdown, which is what the preview would lead you to believe.
Right. I mean, my prediction will be that she does not throw a drink in her face, but
you never know.
You never know. I guess we'll have to tune in next week and see if there's any martinis being thrown. And
don't waste that alcohol. Beyonce reference.
Do not waste the alcohol. There you go. All right. Well, AfterBuzzers, we had so much fun with you guys, and we can't wait to see you next week. Follow us at AfterBuzz TV. Check my Instagram out at @fitbritla_.
And you can find me, Caroline Thayer, at Caroline J. Thayer.
And you can find me, Justine, at Justine DiVanna.
And I'm on Instagram at Angel Saunders.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you next week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.